Hey, hey, how's everybody doing? I'm gonna step aside just so you can see this view. You couldn't see it too well last night. I'm in the exact same location where the Devon maybe Memorial Auction was held, and I participated from. It got really, really eerie late at night. If you watch later in the video, if you happen to watch or do watch in the future, I was looking around because I was hearing a lot of strange noise. It got really dark, even though there's some light poles out here. There was just a lot of weird sounds, and there was also a homicide a couple hundred yards away about a month ago. So this area does tend to attract some homeless people, mostly that direction. On the trail that I actually did a video on once. Actually, I did two videos. One was about a grill that the homeless people left, and grills, plural. But here we are. What's your message today? My message today is, man, I'm really worried. This is going to be major hurricane number three that is really, really going to disrupt my life and future. And it's like it's it makes you depressed because like the first one I was able to evacuate in. That was Hurricane Irma. But there was so much stress and trauma involved with that because uh, I lost all communications on my phone. It died. It wasn't like a dead battery or anything like that. It just fried. And then I had like, this was my old vehicle. It was, I think it was a 2005 Ford Escape. That's exactly what it was. I don't know why I almost said Explorer, but Escape is what it was. This guy going by on a little light. But anyway, it just became very, very, I'm trying to use my words selectively here, traumatic, because I had no idea where I was going. I just like, it took forever for me to get fueled up because I was almost out of fuel when I did get some fuel. And then I, I've already talked about this story before, but I will tell you, I literally just had to just get fuel, put it in drive, and just drive to safety. And I'm kind of contemplating that with this incoming Hurricane Helene. But the problem is, it's like I have obligations to work. I'm a manager, which basically means I'm like on the leadership committee, if you want to call it such. I should represent, you know, dedication and whatnot. But I can also tell you, everybody else that I work with, they're going home to four walls and a roof, and I'm just a dude living in a tin can van. So that's going to be a really crappy situation, a really bad recipe. And what I'm trying to figure out is when this thing is coming. I've seen so many different forecasts. Uh, it definitely is going to hit our area in some capacity. But what really has me worried is, man, like if it was going to hook left, I could evacuate right and just drive down I-10 towards Tallahassee and be safe. Just be safe and stay at a rest. I guarantee you, all the rest areas on I-10 in either direction are going to be pretty well packed. It's probably even going to be hard to get a parking space, but that's pretty much your only option. You got to have a plan or a solution or an attempt to achieve survival. So The other problem I worry about is like I like kind of like just the employment thing, and stuff like that. And even if I am granted permission to evacuate west towards like Alabama, there's a lot of waterways and bridges there, and if there's high winds at a certain point, I forget what. I know I experienced this in Fort Myers area, but once it gets to like 40, 45, or it depends on the height of the bridge and stuff like that, they pretty much shut down the bridges. So you have a major cluster mess trying to get to safety, but they don't want you also, by the same token, to end up in the water and die. It's just crazy. So, it in a perfect world, it would make sense. Just the way it's kind of hooking and doing its thing, just head west, young man. Not really young anymore, but east, you know, depending on the models, it's going to change in the next day or two. I really like following Mike's weather page on Facebook. Seems very reliable to me. He's always been truthful, very dedicated. So that's the dude I follow. But like literally, this storm is going to be so wide. Like even if you go 100 miles to the right or to the left, you're going to be impacted. It's like crazy. So I'm still thinking like even if I stay in one of those drive-through car wash bays, like it's going to be pretty damn dangerous because they're saying 3 or 4 just based on my previous knowledge. It has a high potential to hit a 5 because it's just the reality. Like once you get into the Gulf and all that stuff, it really is crazy. And I'm going to just speak the truth. People are going to think it's not the truth, but I'm going to tell you the reality. People tried to tell us that Hurricane Ian and I think also Irma were not a Category 5, right? And what that means is once you reach Category 5 status, the FEMA, the federal government, has to subsidize in some way, help the citizens like ASAP. But if they categorize it a Category 4 with 1 mile per hour less than a Category 5, then they're kind of protected. They get to save all that money. Let me tell you, don't buy into that program, believe in what the government's going to tell you. It's sad and sorrowful, man. It really is. I'm telling you. There is no doubt Ian was a 5, and I don't even believe the body counts that was released because I've already talked about it on previous videos. So the body counts from, like, say, Sanibel Island, Fort Myers Beach, that whole region, don't believe it. I listened to a podcast, and the guy was telling me he was on the search and rescue team. It was more like a recovery team, basically. But he said immediately they called for 500 body bags. And he said, like, shortly thereafter, they called for another 500 body bags. So the body counts that you're hearing and they're telling, I wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. And I'm not saying this is going to be a huge body count catastrophe, but it has the potential to be very severe. So, man, there was something else I wanted to tell you. So that was Irma, Ian. Anyway, so here I am. I'm like, the reason I was introduced to Hurricane Irma, or excuse me, introduced to Milton, Florida, was due to Hurricane Irma and Hurricane Ian. So I'm trying to make a life here. I have a job, pretty well respected position at a grocery store, and from what I understand through coworkers, that pretty much they try and stay open as long as they can because the people, the town, the community, they need their bread, their butter, their milk, their toilet paper, their Copenhagen, their 305s, their, the meats, the hot dogs, whatever. I'm pretty damn sure our store is going to be wiped out. And we get a delivery on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. And I'm not sure if the schedule is going to be adjusted. Today just happens to be, normally I'd be working at this period of time. I just took a personal day off just to get an emotional enema, if you want to call it that I pre-scheduled earlier. It wasn't like a last minute thing. But anyway, so I'm not sure. It sounds like it could hit. Depends on how much momentum it gains, but it definitely sounds like it's going to be a Category 4, minimum 3, probably a 4, potential of 5 if that energy is enhanced or induced or whatever you want to call it in the Gulf. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to the days ahead. Here I'm literally trying to be a contributor to different causes and try and save my own ass, with my vehicle repairs and vehicle insurance and stuff like that. I actually just paid my vehicle insurance, which was actually probably about 7 hours expired. I knew. I just didn't have the money. I deliberately delayed it because I paid with a check, an e-check. And the last time I did that, it took about 4 or 5 days to process. And I'm hoping it takes at least 2 days to process, just to keep me reinstated. The last thing you want to do is go into, oh, you know what? I think I hear a mullet jumping. Definitely sounded like a mullet jumping. The mullets seem to be active here lately. But yeah, so the last thing you want to do is go into a Category 4 hurricane, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, without automobile insurance. And you sure as hell don't want to get in trouble with the popo. I had to roll the dice. Just had to do what I had to do, just like crazy. But Wednesday I should have some income. Hopefully I'm covered by that. I'll know tomorrow morning, probably when I wake up. And there's a whole lot of things not looking real good in my life right now. Stuff with the van, internally with the van. But, I'm always trying to find the light at the end of the tunnel. It's just crazy. But, man, it's just, I'm not looking for your sympathy. I mean, yeah, it's like, yeah, it's cool if people acknowledge and see the reality of bad situation, but it's just is what it is. I want people to understand my mentality when I share these videos. Yes, I am wearing the same shirt for probably the 3rd video in a row. I hate going to the laundromat. It just signifies poverty. But tomorrow morning I will be going to the laundromat because it's what I got to do. But anyway, man, I wish I could change the topic to something more positive. This is a beautiful river. I got to figure out. Jason Johnson did a really good video in my honor about. I'm trying to remember the title. I think it was like Gary's Wild River Life or something like that. It's actually a really cool video, or not a video. It's a really cool song. I said video. It definitely wasn't a song, but I do have visions of trying to make that a compilation with a video, like, what could be done, it's just like it makes you feel proud, man. It's like Jason Johnson's done so much for so many people, and he really has found a talent in the AI songwriting community, the sphere of life, and he's done a really good job with that. And it makes me proud. So what I'm going to try and do is tap out. Oh, I got to share one little thing, a little cheap cheap meal. I'm not sure where I'm going tonight. I may go to sports bar up the road tonight just to watch the football game. I think it's the wide left Buffalo Bills playing the Jacksonville Jaguars or something like that. And I might just go up there just to like literally when I do stuff like that, it helps me just decompress a little bit. You know, I love football. I just really very rarely get to watch it anymore. Um, I would have been really angry if I watched the Dallas Cowboys this weekend. Don't get me started on that topic. I've already shared my personal beliefs on our defensive coordinator, who I think is a really good dude, a good human being, but he's legally blind in one eye. So how can you read? How can you read what's happening? You know, you got to be able to see the whole field. I know that's going to sound brutal and harsh, but that's the reality. A lot of, like, probably less than 10% of the people know that we have a one-eyed defensive coordinator. So I like the guy. I really do. He's a good family. Matter of fact, September is, how can I say this eloquently, self-termination month. They, it's like awareness month, and he had a wife that actually took her own life. So I do honor and respect that guy as a human being. I just think it's 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 a sad situation. You know, we all have our deficiency. I have a color deficiency. You know, it doesn't mean I'm colorblind, but I have issues with my vision. I've had to deal with my entire life. It's really limited me on my path, my journey in life, my financial opportunities. But you know, here we are, just all trying to get by. I wanna show you this, man. This is like too damn cool. This is called Gary's Wild River Life. You got to live it until the hurricane comes. Then you got to evacuate it. This is the water level right now. I meant to mention this earlier. I'm glad I thought of it. The water level is probably. Let me take a good look and give you a. The water level right now is probably 2.5 to 3 feet from the surface, the edge of the surface, the banks here, and it's this this whole area here. I'm going to turn you around so you can just kind of see and understand, because be on the other side where I'm pointing, there's also like a little waterway there. It's like a little canal or cut through whatever, a little fingerling, I guess you could say, of the river. But I'm going to show you something because this is all going to be underwater in the coming days. So this, yeah, I know this is going to be shaky as hell, and but this is Russell Harbor Landing right here. So this is going to be underwater, guaranteed, guaranteed, unless there's some miracle, by the man above or something like that that just like sends it to Cuba, which pretty damn sure that's not going to happen. But yeah, we're in deep doo doo. We're going to be in deep H2O. So time to buckle up, folks. It's stuff's about to get real. Uh, if it's a 4, even a 3, there's going to be loss of life. There's going to be a high surge on the right side, which would be the east side of the storm, and there's going to be a lot of devastation and destruction, where people will most likely perish. There's people that just live on sailboats and whatnot, are hard headed and stuff like that, and then just there's people may perish immediately, or people may perish days later if there's no power, no electricity, no water, and they're just kind of lost in the shuffle, you know, especially if it's people that have no family. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult. But I'm just trying to share to you the reality of what a typical Florida man living out of a tin can van could encounter. Hopefully, I can come back this weekend and talk to you about some positive things and get some positive things rolling. Uh, my friends that are aware, there goes a mullet. I can just tell by the splash because I'm Florida. There it is, right there, right there. The mullet, sometimes they will, the most I've ever seen a mullet jump is 6 times. But in this region lately, I'm starting to see more, and they can jump like 2, 3 times here. But like when you get down to like the beach area where I was from, the Southwest Florida area, you can see them jump up to 6 times. It's crazy. And you're going to ask me, why do they jump? And there's like all different, I don't think anybody really knows the answer. There's all kinds of speculation on why they jump and everything. But that's just what mullets do, mullet do. And it's really good smoked. So one of my, hopefully my, they don't bite like on like shrimp or anything. Like they're pretty much like vegetarians. So most of the guys that harvest the mullet use a cast net. So I'm gonna try and buy at Rollo's Seafood here in Milton, Florida. Buy some mullet. If I survive, the next 72 to 96 hours, whatever that comes out to be, then my math's not the greatest, but I'm gonna try and smoke some mullet outdoors cooking if I ever get back there. But the forecast for the weekend looks pretty miserable the next weekend. So I'm gonna try and get out there when I can. Uh, but in all seriousness, please keep Droning Veteran in your prayers. Um, you can worry about me. It's just like I'm so used to like SHTF. It's just another day. You know what I mean? It's like good. You have good days and bad days, and eventually, there's going to be a bad day that probably takes you out. But I've already thought about my positioning in this car wash. If I have to go to that car wash, I'm probably going to be offered opportunities with maybe some coworkers, maybe a manager. So I really feel awkward about that. I hate to be in position, and it's just weird. It's just I don't know what I'm going to do. To be honest with you, but I'm scared to death. Uh, Especially when you have a hurricane named after a female. You have no idea what could happen, if you know what I mean. Peace out, folks. Remember, let nature soothe your soul. Did I just say that?